How's y'all doing? Who's here? Who is here? I just decided to start the feed a little before time. Make sure y'all get in. How y'all doing? Ooh, it's fun. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Crazy. His daughter just. Whee! No, I didn't hear about that. I sure didn't. What happened? You can get no night breeze. It start to Catch cold. Didn't go outside. Outside to do what? All right, 45 seconds. Be there for 5 seconds. Oh, why? All right, 21 seconds. All right, here we go. So I can make it with this now. Bam. There you go. Star 106 hits. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Friday edition of Free of Mind. Of course, all brought to you courtesy of KFC. I got to say a big thank you to Seafowl. Thank you to Solomon's. And if you have not gotten your smart rewards card as yet, the sign up is absolutely free. You can earn points every single time you shop. All right. So make sure you get sorted out with that. I want to say thank you to Bahamas Air. And right now, that drawing is happening for all you Doll fans and Patriot fans. Somebody's going to get to go, of course, to Miami, to the Hard Rock Stadium to see the game live on October the 29th. Yes, indeed. And of course, I said thank you to Seafowl as well. All right. So with that said, good to have you in my company on this very wet Friday. Nevertheless, we've made it to the weekend. 20th day of October. I must say happy birthday greetings to Lucia's birthday today. And of course, Snoop Dogg, aka Snoop Lion, celebrates his 52nd birthday today. Yes, so if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. All right, it's a Freaky Friday. Nevertheless, we're a little step closer to Halloween, and then once you see Halloween roll around, it simply means that Thanksgiving is uh, just a smidgen of a minute away. And then, of course, we are now on the countdown to the Yuletide season. All right. So you can tell in the weather. Y'all enjoying this weather, by the way? A little wet, but nevertheless, you know what's great about it is getting cool. All right. Woo! Lord, I got one for y'all today. I don't know. I don't know if it's me you guys will be able to tell me if, I getting bent out of shape too much or maybe not enough. But somebody was asking me in a public space today to endorse a comment that was made about a young lady, right? And the person was like said, like, so, right, Empress? And I literally had to shut it down. Like, yeah, not really cut movie, but I had to shut it down just a little bit simply because I don't subscribe to a certain way of thinking. So let me tell y'all what was said. And then you tell me, see, Kira just walking. So, oh Lord, right? Um, so the person said, hey, isn't she, and they're referring to this young lady, she's a pretty girl. You know the plug that in? No? Okay. She's a pretty girl for a dark girl. Right, Empress? And I I want to say I lost it, but I kind of came down a little hard on the person because I thought we could have ended the sentence or the thought process right there at she's a pretty girl. Full stop. So I say that to say that we have a very, very serious hang up, for lack of a better word, when it comes to color. And I'm thinking as we get closer to 2024, this is not 1964, this is not 1944, this ain't 1921. All right. We are now quickly approaching 2024, where we have been freed from slavery a long time ago. But what's so disheartening for me is that the shackle is still around the brain. You know what I mean? We may be free to move about. I saw something quite recent where a lady was seeing a doctor, and Lord, I was right there. And I was like, this can't be happening in this day and age. So the doctor proceeded to get ready to put on the blood pressure monitor on the lady's hand. And she yanked her hand away to say, I don't want no black doctor touch me in this here 242 in this here 2023. And, I'm ready to get bent out of shape real quick. So I'm not the doctor, but I could not believe that in this day and age, people still think like that in a very predominantly black country. Now, it's one thing for us to talk about being proud to be Bahamian and this is our country and 242 to the world. However, y'all, let's do it quick, so right. But if indeed it's still at a point where we can't celebrate ourselves for who we are, not just as Bahamians, but as a predominantly black country, then we really, really in trouble. And this is one black person to another saying to me and having me to endorse this message that she pretty fat dark skinned girl was a big, big problem for me because are we white is right? The lighter in complexion or in hue that you are, you automatically have nature's passport. You get a pass for a lot of things that the dark skinned person wouldn't get. But we're going to talk more about it in just a second. I got to breathe for a minute, man. I got to think this thing through. All right. But in the meantime, guess what I've got? I got some India Ari. Of course, she talks about not being her hair. She's not her skin. In other words, don't judge me based on my skin color. Don't judge me based on my hair. Speaking of hair, I have people who've known me um, from school time when my hair was processed. I remember not almost, I did lose a friend because sometimes I'll be honest with you guys, my mouth is my problem. All right. And I know when to turn up and turn down. But the person said to me, why for such a pretty girl you would do that to yourself? And that was the exact that was the exact comment. And I looked at their process hair, in which, if you don't treat process hair the right way, meaning you get your regular, what do you call it, treatment and, cutting off split ends. I remember all of those things, right? If you don't do all of that, then having processed hair is not necessarily good either, because if you don't treat it, because it's not the natural state of your hair, then it could possibly not look good either. So this was one of those persons, split ends, can done, dry. I said to them, I said, why would you do that to yourself, right? So we got to be very careful. It's a very thought provoking Friday. No, it is, but nevertheless, I want to play this one right here. It's India Ari. I am not my hair. Don't judge me by that. All right, here it is, right here on the Star. What you mean? What happened, King? Oh, no, friend. She's a pretty dark girl. Hey, and I was like, don't I know you ain't asking I and I that. You know what I mean? Mm. Stunning. Stunning. Won't rub nothing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they just shockingly when they, especially when they smile, like you say, they teeth all of that. Beautiful. And then worse, if, especially if it was a picture, it was a picture or a real person. But sometimes when you see the pictures and they skin oiled, yeah, no, automatically think unattractive. Why not just do something to be like, wait, but how is it that in this day and age, you could look at a dark skinned person and class them as beautiful based on their complexion? Meaning, for a dark girl, you look good. Like that, like that was a compliment, and I was like, sweet girl, that's not even a compliment. Yes, man, saying she pretty for a dark girl, and I was like, see, you said it again. Like you ain't stopped to think what you saying, and you gonna cost me run out in these people place, and then you gonna look at me different because I could cuss you. I could cuss you. No, yeah, because I dark, right? But this gal who she was making the reference to, there's a darker girl than me, right? But nevertheless, Sean said nothing like a chocolate. But listen to me. But boy, y'all have some serious mental hangups, and it's scary. It is scary, scary to me. Like what? Oh, you talking about color? What you look like here? Girl, you could talk. Boy, there ain't nothing more than when I had Soleil. People used to say, hi, yellow, straight here, baby. Oh, baby, you steal. No, but the funniest part about that is you, like, why to steal off? So can you imagine? I even, baby. That's a direction I need to go. Star 106 hits. We're going to take a quick break right here. We've got our eye in the sky traffic report. It's a Friday. Please, as you make your way around town, be cautious out there as wet. The roads are wet. And please pay attention for all of those taking taxi 11 right now. Don't splash them up, all right? We'll be right back. First early afternoon look at traffic for this wait, Todd is doing something. Or wait, they steal. Yeah, I heard someone tell a lady, "You're pretty clean for a Haitian." Five spanking damn. Like, AJ, why you want? you're trying to just distort your good image of me because I just get stupid for stuff like this to know. Or you too cute to be a Bahamian Jamaican? What you mean? Or you too cute to be a Bahamian or Jamaican? You mean it? That's what you mean, AJ? The disrespect. Hey, say nausea. Sorry, let me say it again. Good afternoon, nausea. Yeah, she and I see right here. See right here. Good afternoon, nausea. Just means that they think nothing much of them generally. Generalization and stereotyping is so bad. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's despicable. Yes, Kevon, you know I could get down and freaking dirty. Dirty birdie buddy. Like, boy, that I can talk about that, but yeah, people is a child. She Asian because she got high color. Like, but you know the messed up part about that is then we go to foreign and we go to other parts of the world as Bahamians and represent as Bahamians and dumb like that has come out your mouth. And how does that make us look? They do that? You mean until they talk? Oh, sugar dandy, say what now? Mother said, look how this coming on. Guess what happened? I supposed to meet somebody, right? For that exact move, right? No, real. And see, I just realized I don't. Mother sick. It just hit me. Yeah, sorry. Yes, you was be in the spirit. Say the maid. I can't get over you. At least people was addressing me by my name, so they knew. There's like, Empress, oh baby, you steal. And it depends on what day of the week. If I felt like being ratchet, then I show you my cesarean. The cut. I'm like, let me show you who baby I steal, eh? You know when people talk about, oh, I'll go in the schoolyard and show my bubby, or I can show you my cut. Go ahead. Star 106 hits, welcome back. Free your mind. It's a Freaky Friday. Yes, indeed. As we get closer to, you know, the like are we celebrating Halloween this year, people? Like, are you planning to do, and that's a topic all by itself. We'll touch that one another time as we get closer to it. And certain things are traditional, certain things will always be. And Halloween is one of those things because as matured as I am, I remember my Halloween days as a young girl. The same way I remember Christmas trees with the pine trees out of the pine yards of Grand Bahama, right? And then of course you tend to yes, I did, Raisa. um, you tend to follow through and carry on tradition. So we'll talk about that another time. But I just want to continue with this one. So for all of you that just joined me, I had a very interesting afternoon in a public space where I had to kind of turn up a little bit, just a smidgen, on somebody who tried to incorporate me into a conversation, or rather, a compliment that was paid, what was thought to be a compliment to a young girl that I totally opposed. And I had to kind of school a little bit. What was supposed to just be, I was supposed to just say, yes, that's true, did not happen that way. So it was a young girl in a store, beautiful girl, teeth as white as snow. And the person was so called paying her a compliment by saying, oh my goodness, it could have stopped at, you're a beautiful young lady. It went on to, you're beautiful for a dark girl is what the compliment, the so-called compliment was. Right, Empress? And right, Empress turned very wrong because I said to the person very respectfully, why couldn't you just end the sentence at pretty girl full stop? Period. And she's like, um, I think she caught on right away where I was going with it, but it was too late to recap. She's like, well, I mean, for a dark girl. And I'm like, you don't start the sentence wrong again. Like, why can't she just be pretty? Can we just end it at pretty? And why for a dark girl? Are you trying to say that if you are dark, then you have no chance at being deemed as pretty or as beautiful? And she's like, well, she didn't even say no, Empress. No, that's not what I mean. She said, I mean, well, and when she said that is when I kind of, yikes, yeah, kind of got bent out of shape. Yeah, for lack of a better expression. Because this idea that, I mean, I thought Priscilla said it best, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I thought like we are beautifully juicy. If our melanin is a little turned up, if our hue is a different, shade of black. And I think as we get ready as always, February is Black History Month is coming back around again. I mean, though we don't celebrate it the way they do in America, I find that we have a whole lot of work to do when it comes to being truly proud of who we are, not just as in Bahamians, but as in black people. For a small black country, we have a lot to be proud of. We stand predominant. And I think with that, we must stand tall and definitely be be proud. Sean says too much ambi being used. Okay, so the whole idea of the skin lightening is an epidemic at this point, where persons don't feel beautiful about themselves unless they are a lighter hue. And to those persons and then social media has a lot to do with it. You look on the TV has a lot to do with it. Hollywood has a lot to do with it. That, you look on the TV, those that are being celebrated are of a lighter hue. All right. But my question to you guys is, for those that make up the batch, those that do the rubbing or whatever you call it, the toning. Do they get, because if people knew you of your natural color, they knew when you were whatever your natural color or tone or hue was, and see you now much lighter, do you still get the same respect as those who are naturally of a lighter hue? Do they get like when you see somebody who you went to school with and they were like this keyboard, right? And then all of a sudden now in their adult life, they are like this paper, right? Do they get the same respect to say, wow, she's now finally good looking? Or does it put you in a different category? I'm trying to understand the mindset. AJ says, I think a lot of people don't know how to compliment a lady. We need to know how to compliment 101. Some guys' idea of compliment is to point out how big her hips or her breasts are. And this is a definite topic that we need to touch. And I think now is a perfect time. Why not? Okay, so let's generalize it first and foremost by saying a lot of us don't ever know what to say. Case in point, if someone has put on weight, right? You don't know if they're on steroids, doctor's orders. You don't know if they're, eating to the point of or because they're depressed. They're in a very, very depressed state. We talk about sensitizing our people when it comes to mental health. And I think we need to be mindful of those that possibly use food as, what they call comfort food. Then there are those that are on medication. All right. There are those that have just mentally given up. So where their image is concerned, they don't necessarily take full charge of it anymore. So you got to be careful. People just, loose lips. A lot of people just say whatever comes to mind, and I think we need to learn how to how to think first before we speak. The same way we were taught to look left, look right, and look left again before we cross the road. It's the same thing. We got to think twice about what it is we're going to say, because you do not know the mental stability of anyone anymore. Because the same way you can't tell a sheep from a goat, you can't tell an angel from a devil. Because remember now, we have many, many devils walking amongst us. Y'all know plenty of them. It could be a coworker, it could be a family member, it could be a business partner, it could be a schoolmate, it can be a lot of people, right? You can't tell by looking anymore. And it's sad to think that we have this idea that somebody who is not of a great mental space has to have a certain look. They gotta start walking the streets. They gotta start counting lampposts. They gotta start stripping in the road. They half naked. No, we have people who dress the part every day that are not mentally well. So you got to be careful what you say to people. Man, you get fat, eh? That's not a greeting. A greeting is, hey, how you doing? Now, whether or not you care how they're doing or not, it's a generalized greeting. It's a salutation. So we got to be more mindful as to how we greet people. I'm going to take a quick break right here. Free your mind on a Friday. Yes, indeed. One, we have finally made it to the weekend. And of course, I got more free your mind right here for you on the other side. Stay tuned. Show love with your words. That's exactly how they say it. Right. You putting on all this weight, eh? When last time I heard this song? Oh, I can't play it. I can't even play it for ya. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Show love with words. Ha! Good luck with that. Do you remember when you were growing up? I don't care what era it was, right? Do you remember a saying that sticks and stones can break my bones, but words could never hurt me? Does that stand to be true? In your opinion, does that stand to be true? Because as kids, that was riveted in our brains. Man, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can't hurt you. Yes, boy. we can talk about it in a second. She's pretty fat, dark girl. Now I can still hear the woman. I swear she giving a compliment. Okay. Hi, Letitia. Wait, words to me. Right? I say beat me with no stick and stone still. But, but, come true, Christina. Come true. Come true. All right, Christina. Your time is up. Words. You hear that? Words. Okay. Star 106 hits. Christina Aguilera right there with Beautiful. There's a part of the song that says, words, I am beautiful. No matter what you say, words can't bring me down. So, my question to you, generally speaking, because we all can remember a time when we were taught as kids that sticks and stones can break your bones, but words could never hurt you. Does that really stand to be true? Think about it. And we've been saying it for generations and generations. It's only, physical, that some it's only physically somebody can hurt you. Sticks and stones, I guess, whether throwing stones at you, hitting you with a stick can hurt, but words cannot. Does that stand to be true? Because I'm finding more and more in looking into this that you can hurt somebody so much more with the words that you say, as Raisa says here so eloquently on our Facebook feed, um, that words linger and replay in our heads over and over. So think about that person that's battling, you know, their weight. They're doing everything possible, but okay, let's say in some cases you are on steroids for whatever ailment you have, and that's the only solution, and you're on it long term, so you're blowing up. And somebody, and we as Bahamians have this terrible tendency of, excuse me, speaking, not even thinking out loud, speaking out loud. We have no inclination on how it is one is supposed to whisper, or if I'm talking to you, let it just be me and you, right? We tend to talk loud, we whisper loud, and we don't think before we speak. So somebody who's battling all of that, and you're going to say to them, rather than and maybe you guys can help me with the right way, if it's even your business, to ask them why it is they're putting on weight, right? Somebody will say, and this is generally speaking, it would be a, my goodness, you put on plenty weight, eh? In that same voice intonation and everything, rather than maybe seeing it for what it is and just not saying anything about it. You notice it. And guess what? Moreover, and more importantly, the person who is putting on weight, they've seen it too. They know. So you telling them, or pretty much reminding them that they've put on weight, you're not telling them something that they already know. So Why all of the bells and the whistles when saying it? So much emotion involved when you're telling this person that they're putting on so much weight. Or let's talk about somebody who's losing a lot of weight, because you have those too. Um, I can think of somebody right now that's seeing a doctor and trying to figure out why. It's still a mystery. And here you are. My goodness gracious, I'm right here trying to lose weight, and you lose all this weight. Tell me what you do. You see how insensitive that is? You see how tacky that is? Let me read some of these comments. Okay. So that happened to me. People thought I was pregnant, but I simply was on medication. Okay, you see what I mean? And being on meds is never a happy thing. It means that something is fundamentally wrong when you're on medication. So here it is, you come along with your very non-sensitive self and say to somebody, "Well, how much months you is now? Ain't nobody tell me you was expecting." Yeah. Okay, so we have that case. Hi, Paulette. Great show. Thank you. Words can hurt just as much or even more than sticks and stone. I am a beautiful dark skin. No, 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 Paulette. I can't even read that way. You're just a beautiful lady with natural hair. I refuse to say, well, no, I guess I could still say I'm a beautiful dark skinned lady. I just think we could just say beautiful. Just anyway. All right, dark skinned lady with natural hair, and I've heard so-called compliments from men who lack exposure. You're a beautiful. Oh, here we go now. You just know to tick me off. All right, you're a beautiful dark-skinned lady. Equally disturbing, I've heard some ladies tell me I am brave. That's us, to be a natural hair lady when they're naive is obvious, I guess. Sadly, my confidence is not always matched by their insecurity. I shake my head and I pity them. Child, me too. Me too. But I want you to believe in this society, it does take a very mentally strong person to not be of the status quo. Let me say that again. It does take a very mentally strong and secure person to rock their natural hair or their natural look, right? Because that includes makeup too. We're in the age, I saw a video today of somebody, it was supposed to be a joke, with a lady with it really, really looked like fans on her eyelashes. Like nobody wears natural lashes anymore. I can't think back to a day. I'm trying to remember how far back I would have to go to a time when concealing eyebrows were not a thing. Like, can anybody help me out with that? Can we can we say maybe the 80s? Because I know the 80s was a time, and 90s, but 80s was a time where ladies was rocking the black pencil around the lip. Okay, I remember that very clearly. The 80s was the black pencil around the lip. Y'all help me out now. The 90s, we still wasn't concealing eyebrows, right? Because you have some that conceal very well, and then others, the evidence is there. The proof is in the pudding because the concealer is still very visible at the top of the eyebrow. That ain't cool. All right. But can you help me out with figuring how far back do we have to go back to a time when people used to rock their natural God given face? All right. Without concealing, contouring, all of that good stuff. Can we easily say maybe the end of the 90s? I don't know. I don't know. But nevertheless, I stick to it that it takes a strong and a very secure um, lady to rock their natural hair against the status quo, where everybody else is either wearing the horsey hair or um, wow, I'm gonna need this person to don't do it. So some girls ain't been fresh faced since grade 10. My goodness gracious. Lord of mercy. And that's true. Sean says, because of that old saying, stick and stone, um, a Caucasian person calling me the N word saved me from reacting negative. Sticks and stones. Okay, so I guess if we were to try and find the positive in the negative, then yes, you just have to brush that one off because you see trouble coming. I was in a situation um, two Christmases, is it two? Yeah, two Christmases ago now, where a Caucasian person, um, said something about your kind, your kind of people, and I could have let it fly, Sean, just as you did. But the only difference is that the young lady, sorry, the person had her finger in my face as she was saying this, and the tip of her nail, all I had to do was feel something and is on. You know what I mean? It's different where somebody's saying something, oh, you're kind, you're kind of people, whatever that meant, right? And we knew where what she meant. But the fact that you let your fingernail graze me, that's where the problem came in. And guess what? The funniest thing about that is somebody reminded me about that situation who saw it as it unfolded, reminded me of that situation just today. So I say that to say that yes, indeed, words, got to be careful with your words, people. You've got to think. Phil Collins said it best, think twice. All right. When you think of something to say to someone, especially, and you know what's funny? A lot of people don't realize, are they're not able to decipher good from bad when it comes to the things that come out of our mouths. We got to be careful. We got to be careful how we treat people in a day and age where we have no idea what someone's mental capacity is all about, their stability. We have no idea where they're at. You cannot, this is another thing that we learned. You can't judge a book by the cover. All right. So you can't look at somebody, all right, and say, they're good. All right. The same way, I might as well roll this one out too. You cannot count people pocket. You cannot look at somebody and assume that they have it or that they don't need it, because you have a lot of people that borrow people money and play forget simply because why? They need that. Y'all stop doing that. All right. We have a new year rolling around the corner. I can see it now. I think it's like, I know Christmas is like 60, what, 67 days or something like that away. So please, as Dr. Deandra Smith said it on Wednesday, that you must do some reflection. All right, like Jack Yo, reflections. All right. Anyway, it's the weekend. Happy about that. Shouts out to everybody celebrating a birthday today. It is the 20th day of October. Turn up, be safe. As a matter of fact, we're going to kick the weekend off in the right way. We've got our drive at 5 coming up at the top of the hour right here on your hit station. You know what it is? We are Star 106 Hits. Oh, wow. So the computer doing the Watusi. Beats, help. Why is the computer doing this? It's circling and I can't trigger the ad. I'm strong minded, very confident. I walk often and wear no makeup while working out. Sadly, I see women tripping with sweat. But now that got to be the dumbest. But Paulette, I ain't gonna call no names. I can't. But can you imagine going to a 5 o'clock session and somebody face done beat for the session? Like, anyway, I can leave that alone. I can leave it alone. I can leave it alone. Lord, y'all got to get confident within yourself. But like, it can't be. All of that still boils down to people pleasing, because you trying to make sure people have you don't want them to misconstrue. I trying. I can't. I can't press anything. I don't know what happened. Everything is up. The thing's circling and it's not allowing me to press start next. I said the computer stop. You ain't listening to me. Let me go find Tony. Guys, I gotta go. Troubleshooting time.